Welcome to Roleplaying Eldoria and our love of storytelling. Behind the GM screen is a product videos we decided to do to explain a little bit more about the background of the World of Eldoria and maybe some things that the players don't know and you know. It's sort of two parts. Keith's just talking generally about the world and he might refer to some things, so then I'll explain it in a little bit more detail. Hope you enjoy it. Hope this works for you. If you do, comment below.
Okay, we're about to start our first recorded gaming session. Just letting you guys know we're playing at a thing called the Tipsy Tinker Inn that Angela designed a long time ago, well, a couple of years ago. Some of you guys are familiar with it, and some may not be familiar with it, but the scenario I'm including in it is unique for you guys to play. So the time of year, it's 2152, which is it's the year after the events of people familiar with the Darringmore campaign, so that war's over now. The Sard kingdom is reconciling itself because Karakan, who was the Chancellor, has vanished and they're getting new leadership, etc. Because the Tipsy Tinker Inn sits in the mountains that form the spine of the Sard nation. It's on a major road that connects the east of Sard to west, and it's a popular inn that people drop in on, and it's got some scenic areas like hot baths and things up in the mountains there. And the dwarves who still dwell in the regions often come and visit it because they've set up a monument there that marks the western borders of their ancient kingdom.
We will pause Keith here just to get a little bit more information about Sard the country and the Surrell Valley where the Tipsy Tinker is situated and Keith's referring to. Sard, an Eldorian country. The next map is the complete map of Eldoria. If you look closely near the Sea of Five Winds, you'll find the country of Sard. This is the location of the Tipsy Tinker. It's a very military-style country. Sard lies to the west of its rival Elkia. These two countries face each other across the waters of the Lesser Inner Sea. Although they share a common border in the north, this is a virtual no man's land. It's created by the territories of the Imperial State and some nearby bogs. The long east-west running chain of the Stone Brown Mountains effectively divides Sard from the forested highlands of Larn, and control of the passes through these mountains has always been a source of conflict in the region. Sard was once part of the Sardellan imperial homelands. It's a mountainous land rich in mineral wealth. It retains a strict feudal-like system of government, with lands divided between powerful lords, most of whom give patronage to the Church of Treskillian, the god of war. The Surrell Valley, Sard. The Tipsy Tinker is half a mile from the main road of the Traveller's Way, which runs between Vendish and Gablehead along the eastern coast of Sard. This road leads up into the mountain valley of the Surrell and directly to the Tipsy Tinker. Tinker's Way is quite a well-established and a little unusual track. It's a pathway that seems to be made of a continuous flow of hard stone, with no evidence of flagstones being laid. This is an excellent thoroughfare for wagons transporting goods to Western Sard, as the track eventually connects up to the Eagle's Way, a major highway that traverses the Grand Escarpment from east to west. The trek along Tinker's Way is full of scenic, rural land devoted to animal grazing. We will go back to Keith now and see what he's got to say about introducing the game.
The Tipsy Tinker Inn is run by a family of humans who have had it in their family for quite a while, but there are a lot of fey creatures who hang around the region due to the place being strong with Tas energy that relates to nature, so it attracts fey creatures. And people who stay there will often encounter things like leprechauns, fairies, things like that hanging around the place. They're not in your face, but they're on the periphery of everything.
What does Keith mean by Tas? We'll find out a little bit more about that in the next bit of footage. Tas is the source of magic, whether you're druids, clerics, magic users, sorcerers. It's where all magic comes from. Now, around the Tipsy Tinker, there's something called the Tas Web, Most people from the College of Wizards don't believe in it, but in reality, the ancient people learnt to find parts of the landscape that amplified the Tas, and they called them Tas Wells. Thousands of years ago, the locations of these wells were common knowledge amongst the sorcerers of the Dark Time, but it was lost over many years. Where two or more lines of the Tas web converge, it creates a concentration of the Tas, referred to as Tas Wells. The Tipsy Tinker is located on one of these junctures. Tas Wells manifest strong raw energy, and they manifest so much they leak into the very ground, the water and the air that surround them. Water tastes better, plants grow stronger, and the air is sweeter. They also act as a beacon to fey creatures who are more attuned to the Tas and feel invigorated by being very close to a well. Although all types of energy collect in a Tas well, the most dominant natural power is gathered and greatly enhanced. For example, if you're in a swamp, it would be necromantic magic. The area of Tipsy Tinker is a region of natural beauty. Magic associated with conjuration gathers and stockpiles. All spellcasters find that spells may work much more efficiently when they're near a Tas well. However, the enhanced magic does not always work the same for everyone. Schooled wizards and clerics are far less likely to be able to source the enhanced Tas energy from these, while sorcerers, high-ranking druids and fey creatures are able to improve spell forms because they're more in tune with the magic of the natural world. The story of the Tinker's Way Road origin is a curious one. 20 years ago, a wizard was travelling to the west coast of Sard with a merchant caravan. The rains of the March of Water arrived early that year and were particularly heavy. The caravan was marooned at the inn when the then earthen pathway turned into a muddy river. The van was forced to shelter at the Tipsy Tinker for 2 weeks, and the wizard found himself short of funds. However, Knowledge, the innkeeper, being a kindly soul, allowed the wizard board at the inn, free of charge. So, when the rain stopped and the pathway was drying out, the wizard decided to reward Knowledge for his generosity by paving the grounds and paths immediately around the inn with stone, using magic to permanently transmute mud to rock. However, the result of the spell was far greater than the wizard expected, due to the presence of an enhanced Tas field. By a quirk of fate, the spell was hugely amplified, and the magic flowed out from the vicinity of the Tipsy Tinker, following the line of the Tas web, which the original Tinker's Way had been laid along. In a matter of moments, 20 miles of the trail east and west of the inn was surfaced with stone. The wizard was totally unaware of the proximity or even the nature of the Tas well, and remarked, "By the gods, that is the best work I have ever performed." Farmers of the Surrell Valley still tell the tale that it was all the work of the Fey folk. This is an instance where the vague rules around the Tas field didn't work quite as expected. And that is very common. You never can be exactly sure what's going to happen. Thanks for watching our first Behind the GM screen. I must say, when Keith and I were looking at the Surrell Valley and the road that led up to the Tipsy Tinker, we had a lot of fun with Tas and what it would do with spells, and we just thought it was really cool to have a magic user that, accidentally paved a whole road with turning mud to stone. It's just a bit of fun. Okay, thanks for watching, and please subscribe if you can. See you next time. Bye.